Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the School of Magical Stitches Disney Edition. I am here to give you a small tutorial today about how we prefer for things to be posted and to give you a quick overview of the yearly events that we have this year and how we foresee them working. Of course, if you have any questions, you can ask in your hotel to your hotel managers, your concierge, or to the admin, or in the main group, of course. We'll be happy to answer any and all questions possible. So I'm going to do a screen share. This is my first time ever trying to do it this way, so I'm hoping I can see what y'all are seeing, and so we're gonna make the best of this. Let me first get to the first page. And hope nobody messages me on Facebook while I do this. Okay, share my screen. So the first thing we have here is an event. When you're in your hotel, there will be a tab called events, and all of these will be listed in there. You will notice that they are made for December of 2020. This is because Facebook only allows us to host an event for 2 weeks. So if we put it at the end of the year, you're able to see it very easily all year long. And you can, this, for the most part, this works for even your weekly events and your monthly events that are going to be in the main group. We do not have any of those set up to post an example on right now. So that's not going to be much different. And here in a minute, I will get in and show you what this one actually entails. But the first thing you're going to do is when you come into an event, you'll read through it. We don't need to do that just yet because we're just putting an example here. And so when you write your post, you will pertain it to what you're writing about. And so, like, let's say this week has 5 prompts that we're going to complete. So we will, and since you're in your individual hotel, weeklies and monthlies, they will be in the main group. So you will need to tell us which hotel you're in. So I'm going to say Boardwalk, because that is my hotel resort. And for Boardwalk, we put a little emoji here. You can see I was a Slytherin, that's still up there. I haven't found them yet, but the Boardwalk is, they're not going to load right now. The Boardwalk is a little Ferris wheel. You'll put that there, and then you'll say, I've completed 0 of 5 prompts. Okay, and then if we have any sort of bonus, you would put bonus here and say, put a check mark. You can say completed 0 of 1, any of that sort of thing. And then you're going to want to, let me put an example here. Well, I'll just put, this isn't Boardwalk. I'm in the wrong one. Let me try that again. Too many windows open. Okay. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. I'm trying to do it in a place where it's not going to alert a whole bunch of people that I'm doing this. Okay. And so we'll just say enter. Well, you got to click post. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click this little down arrow and click save post. So then what happens is my controls are in the way. Okay, so if I go home and I click saved right here over in the corner, then I would be able to click here and go straight to the event. You always want to post as a comment to your own post. And so I would say prompt number 1, say the name of whatever it is, and then hit enter. And then after that, you want to do a starting photo, and then do your stitching, and then do an ending photo. For like your weekly, monthly extra credit, anything that's straightforward like this. Now, for this one, we're going to go ahead and look at what our prompt is. So I'm going to come back over here, and if you click this link, and this one specifically, okay, this one is the Ultimate Stitching Challenge. This is something you will complete on your own for you, as much or as little as you choose to do. So you'll click on the Google document, it'll open up. I already have it open over here. And these are the prompts that you can work on throughout the year. There's no start or end date to it. Well, I mean, the start date, of course, is January 1st, 2020. Anything all year long as you choose to do it. So, okay, part 1, you can complete these on any projects. This is about stitch counts. So the first thing, our main premise in a lot of what we're doing this year is to build the parks. And that's something that's going to happen in the main group, or in your hotels, one of the two. But there's some extra things that come along with parks that you as an individual want to build. So like the hotels. So we have our value resorts, and each of these is 2,000 stitches in 500 increment photos. Yeah, so you can stitch on any project. You know, these each kind of have a theme. If you can fit it, cool, but it is not a required situation. So what I would do in this one is, so you're gonna wanna label your different parts and each of how many there are, and part 2 and part 3. It can get a little bit extensive, but so we're going to come in here. I'm gonna just edit this. And I'm in my individual hotel, so I do not have to say Boardwalk Resort for this one. I can just say part 1, and then value resorts. I'm not going to do all of them right now, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll say 0 of 6. Now I would go in, and under that I would write each of the different sections that I need to do. So then I'll save that. And here we're going to say value resorts. And under this one, I'm going to reply to it, and I'm going to say, what's the first one? All-Star Movies. Oops. Star Movies. Now, I would reply to that one, and I would put a picture. Let me see if I've got something here. Oh, here's a good one. Okay, so I put in my starting picture, and I'll just say start once it loads, and hit enter. It's still thinking about it. Of course, my internet's gonna play up when I'm trying to do a video. Okay, so I am working on Alice's Mad Plant, and I go through and I stitch on it, and let's say I got 100 stitches in. So then, but I'm gonna go work on something else for maybe homework or the monthly, because these cannot double dip. So then what I would do is I would go ahead and put another photo here, wherever I am now. We're gonna say this one. And then I would say 100 stitches completed. So that I can go work on something else, and I don't have to remember where I was on this piece. I would then come back, and when I work on this one again, I would delete this photo because you can click right here and click delete. Sure want to delete, yes. And then I stitch on it some more and I complete 500 stitches. So now I'm going to post that picture again and I'm going to say 500 stitches complete. And I'm going to leave that one because remember you need to do 500 stitch increments. Ideally, you would want the whole 500 on one project. You do not have to do this, but you do have to show start and ending photos for each one. So if I only did the 100 on this and then I used a different project for the other 400, I would want a start and finish photo there too. However, for the sake of Facebook jail and all that, if you can complete the 500 stitches on one, we do appreciate that. Now, I'm still not done because All Star Movies requires 2,000 stitches. So then I would, if I'm going to continue to work on this piece, I would just leave it like that and post my next picture as I'm working on it, right? Always, but it's important to go back, not to leave every single progress photo, because again, Facebook gets a little touchy when we want to put 10,000 photos in one event. So I would delete and only have the 500 posts. And so now I could put another picture here. Let's just pretend I have another one and say 200 and then go in and delete it when it gets, and then put the 500 photo. But every 500 stitches, so you're going to need a start photo and a minimum of 4 other photos before you can consider this one complete. Now, and like I said, if I'm using a different project, I would need to do a start and ending photo. So you could potentially have 8 photos to complete one All-Star Movie Resort. This is the same with any of them really. Of course, as we go up, so these are worth 2,000 each in 500 increment photos, so you need 4 start and stops. This one's 3,000, so that's 6 start and stops. And then 4,000 and 5,000. And you see that you get significant points for those. So, and this one's a little confusing. This one got me. This is a header. These bullets go with these up here. I got confused about that when I was trying to set this up on a spreadsheet, and so just know that those are all together. Now, when it comes to okay. When it comes to these, it also says 500 increment photos, but as you see, there's some odd numbers in there. But it's essentially the same thing. We are traveling from the headmistress's house to each of the parks, and she puts how many miles and total distance. This is the total distance. This is how many points you would get if you completed all of them. Then the other things you can build is the mini golf courses in the water parks, because they are not essential to the main part, but they are nice to have. And so these they don't, Miss Vicki does not need them broken down like she does the other ones. So again, what I would do is I would start and ending photos if you're using more than one project. If you're just using one, then just update that end photo each time. We have another part coming soon. It's still under construction, and that is mapping the book. And it will basically be 25 stitches for every page in a chapter. We're having to get our hands on the books to map out the chapters for you. And so that will be, links to that will be included here as soon as they are completed. The next one we have is called Read It or Stitch It. So this one has a lot of prompts. Do not get overwhelmed. You can choose to stitch some of it. Okay, you're choosing to read or stitch it. You do not have to complete it all. Just pick what works for you. Don't find yourself getting overwhelmed. You do not have to complete everything. You don't have to complete anything. So that's very important to know. Again, these are just starting in photos, but they're only 500 a piece anyway. So for the whole set, everything's worth 5 points. Here's what you need to know about the sections. Okay, so there's this first section, and these are, excuse me, the main lands inside of the park. These, you're gonna try and find a whip to fit. Tell us a story. However it works for you, it works for us. Just let us know. If you don't tell us, then of course you're not going to get your points. But if you make a story and it works, we will give it to you. So, for example, for Main Street. So in section 1, Main Street, set in a small town. I may find a book that works really well for that, and I choose to read that one. All done. Prompt 2, and you do not have to do these in order or anything like that. But we ask when, well, I'll get to that in a second. So Tomorrowland, set in the future. Well, I have a project with planets on it. So space is a futuristic idea. I'm going to stitch on that one. You do not have to keep with the same choice for the entire prompt or entire section. Each prompt is individual. However, if I choose to read Main Street and stitch Tomorrowland, I cannot go back and do the opposite until I have completed every prompt in this section. So I would have to complete these 6. I know I muted that. I'm sorry. I think it's this one that's not muted. So I would have to complete these first 6 and 1 and 2 here. Now number 2, these are subcategories in number 2 that you have to complete each one, plus Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom. So if you complete all those with either a reading or a stitching, you can go back and do them all with the opposite choice of what you originally chose for another 5 points. But you cannot do, if you decide to read it, you can't stitch it until you've completed the entire section. So we've got Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. They're the main sections of each of those. Next is your favorite movies, or a list of favorite movies we got from everybody when we asked. So again, try your best, or do your best explaining of how your book or stitching fits these prompts. Your book needs to be at least 125 pages. Stitch count is 500 stitches each. And then so if you finish all 40 movies, then you can go back and do the opposite of whatever you chose the first time. Section 3 is the actual characters, favorite characters for all of them, going all through. So for these, I would actually, let me stop sharing for just a second because I don't want that message to pop up. I don't know what it says, but I would really like, because Lorna has already put up a very nice example post, and there will be example posts from each of your hotel managers in the hotels. So this is just to kind of, sometimes hearing it is a lot easier than actually reading it. She hasn't put one up for that one yet. Okay. So again, where to go? You're gonna want, this one's gonna be very similar to the last one in that you'll want to have, you want to make sure you have a section for Main Street, Tomorrowland, Adventureland, all all the different prompts in order that they are in page. So I'm going to go back here. So even if your first choice is you're going to stitch Adventureland to start, you still need 2 prompts ahead of it, Main Street and Tomorrowland, in case you go back and choose to do those. Even if you never do, it helps us to keep things in line. So you're going to want to create a prompt for each, or create a new comment on your post for each thing, and then comment under that comment. So that is Read It or Stitch It, which that is probably our proudest one this year. We thought it was fun getting to choose which one you want to do. Some people do all stitching, some people do all reading, and some people they get a mix of both. Okay, so the next one, that's reading or stitching, right? I wish I could see what y'all are seeing right now. And I just unmuted that again. Oh my goodness. I'm a mess, y'all. Okay, this one is the Outrageous Headmistress Stitching Challenge. I know everybody's missing it from this year. Well, this year we didn't start it till June because it wasn't recommended to us until that point. So we're like, we're going to start the year with this outrageous extreme stitching challenge. And it is to stitch all the words, a stitch for each word in all the books. And we have 2 series this year, Kingdom Keepers in January, March, May, July, September, November. That doesn't sound right to me. And December. I think that's how it's going. And villains are February, April, June, August, October, but 2 in April. So that's how that's going. Anyways, so we did split up the series. The Kingdom Keepers has 660,040 words, and the Villains has 380,945, for a grand total of 1,040,985 stitches. That is a lot. Let me just tell you personally, I haven't broken 200,000 this year, so this would be quite the challenge. And we want you to have an update every 1,000 stitches. So it would work a lot like the first event I showed you for most people. However, if you are somebody who stitches on a lot of different things like I do, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Kingdom Keepers 0 of 660,040. Okay. And then I would also put the villains here and maybe even the total, but for time's sake, we're just going to do this. I'm going to post. So I'm going to have whip 1, which for me might be Pretty Little Paris. And I'm going to comment under it and have my starting picture. I'm not going to put the pictures in, but you'll get the gist. Starting picture. And then I'm going to work on it this week. And I got 445 stitches done. And I'm going to post the picture here. Okay. So again, like I said before, I will go in and the next time I work on it, maybe a month down the road, I'll add whatever stitches I get that day to this. I will delete this one and put the new total until I get to 1,000 stitches, and 1,000 stitches would be my endpoint. But I'm not going to get to Pretty Little Paris for a while. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to work on Minnie Alice in a Dolly Dream. And I'm going to have my start picture. I'm going to reply first. Have my start picture, and that I only got 100 stitches done on this one today. And I post the picture and I post it. And I will go back and I will edit that the next time I work on it. So I'll delete this and I'll put in the new one till it hits 1,000. And let's say, okay, so now I've gotten my 1,000 stitches on Pretty Little Paris because I've worked on it a few times. And I want to work on it again. So I'm going to put another section for Pretty Little Paris because that one has hit the 1,000. But I wanted you to be able to see that you can have multiple places for your whips, so that you can be tracking them as you go, because the Outrageous Headmistress event is the one event where you can double dip. Any stitches that go anywhere on the School of Magical Stitches, anywhere, you can also put them here and have them count. Because if we told you couldn't double dip on this one, it would never get done. So, so I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna update the monthly homework that I did, and then I'm gonna come in here and I'm also gonna put it here so I can get credit on my ultimate Headmistress challenge also. Part of the reason we broke these two up is because let's say you can actually complete 380,000 stitches in a year. More power to you. I don't think I can do it, but I'm gonna sure try. And you hit that goal, tag one of your managers or an admin, and we will get you some sort of reward for completing that. I'm not going to get into rewards right now. I will let Miss Headmistress do that, but we are going to have something for you to commemorate the fact that you did an awesome job stitching. So if you have any questions, I'm trying my best to explain this, but I'm talking to a computer, not a person. So be sure and ask. Maybe we can do a live video at some point if somebody needs more help. So, which is this one, individual stitching. So we went over the individual stitching challenge, which is the different parks, the railway, or the different park lands, and the mini golf and the water parks and all that. We got, let me close this for just a second. We got the Read It or Stitch It, the Outrageous Headmistress Challenge. And there's also the Ultimate Reading Challenge. Let me go ahead and show you all that one. If I can find the button that I'm looking for. All of these were opened from another place, so they are like, you can't do that. Okay. The Ultimate Reading Challenge. I know y'all just love staring at me. Okay, here we go. Let's share the screen again. Okay, so this is the Ultimate Reading Challenge. The challenge is to meet as many characters as you can this year. To meet a character, you'll need to do a spell out of their name. So here's the document with all the names. And there are quite a bit. So you can, I think somebody has already totaled up, you would have to complete 500 books this year to complete this. And so what you would do in this one, okay, so it's the name of characters. Ooh, look, Baymax. I love Baymax. Oh man, I love Disney characters. So let's see. For example, let's go with Anna. It's pretty easy. Where's my tab? So, okay, Lorna has this one done. So you would have the name written out like this, and you would just edit. So come in here. I can't do it because it's not mine. But if you click these three dots, it would say edit, and you would add the title or the name of the author next to the letter, and then update this to say 1 of 5, 2 of 5, that sort of thing. You need the first word of the title. So if it's like Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry would be the one that worked. And either the author's first name, J, or last name, R, J.K. Rowling, you know, and to be able to spell them out. We did this last year with the houses, Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw. And so it's pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, be sure and let us know. Okay, so there is going to be one other set of events that you're going to see when you come into your hotel. And they're listed right here. And these are not the only ones. There will be more throughout the year, but these are the ones Vicki has preloaded. And if you go into them, let's start with this one. You are not going to see any information in there. That is because in order to schedule them to go up, we didn't want to put any information in and let y'all know everything right away. But this one will be updated before tomorrow, or when you're seeing this, and to tell you how to do this. So I don't know the details either. I don't know the exact numbers. That is all your headmistress. But this is going to be a team-oriented event in which everybody is going to work together to try and build the ticket center. And this will be our first place, because before you can do anything in any of the parks, you need to buy a ticket. You need to get there. And so to get transported there. And so this is the first thing you're going to have to build as a team. There's going to be a set number of stitches. For example's sake, let's say 10,000. And so what you're going to want to do here is you're going to say, I'm really not sure. Let's just say Boardwalk Resort. I don't think I'm in my house, so I won't say this, but so just put that there, right? Your manager will have an example post, follow theirs. We hadn't really discussed that when we were Hogwarts. We always put our house, but anyways, so you're going to put your start picture, you're going to put your ending picture, and you're going to put how many stitches you did. So for this, I'm going to say I did 152 stitches. And of course, there needs to be a photo there. I'm not doing that right now. Then you're going to want to come up here, and don't forget to save your post, but also edit the post and say 152 I can't type today, stitches completed. So what this does is your managers are going to come through and they're going to go, okay, Simi has 152 and Lorna has 500 and Lisa has 23, and they're going to add all those up 1 or 2 times a day. And when you hit your goal, what did we say it was, 10,000? When you hit your goal of 10,000, they're going to shut the event down and they're going to say completed, and then there will be some rewards. Again, I'll let your headmistress go over at that point. And for example, you've completed the ticketing system, you've gotten your ticket, so now you're going to need to get to the parks. So we're going to, first I'm going to delete this, sorry y'all. So then we're going to go back, and y'all completed, let's say Boardwalk Hotel completed the Ticket and Transportation Center. You will now unlock Ferry Ride or monorail. And then you get to choose which one of those you want to work towards completing to get to the park. And you can complete both. You can have some people working in both. You can complete one and then the other. That is however you as a hotel choose to do it. But those would be the next 2 that you would work on, and it will have how many stitches you need to complete. There will be a minimum number you need in order to be considered having participated and be part of the reward system, and we will go over that more later. But so you want to try and contribute, help build it, and at least hit your minimum, but strive for more. The faster you get it done, the more you unlock. And we have a lot in store for you, so be sure and hit all your goals to try and keep it going. So again, this will all be completed in each individual hotel and not in the main group. So you know, Boardwalk could be building their monorail, and Beach Club could be just starting their ticketing. It's going to be different per hotel. So it'll be interesting to see how that all goes through. So I think that's everything that I wanted to show you. I hope it all makes sense and that you are as excited for this year as we are, because we are so excited and we have so much more that's going to happen come the first of the year. Um, so if you have any questions, be sure and let either your admin, your hotel managers, or your concierge know. Um, their information is in your description box if you don't know who they are. And we'll see you later. Happy stitching, everybody.